All right, shout out to the fam. Appreciate you and salute to the mighty Who Dat Nation. Big up to FanDuel, the official sponsor of the show. Go to FanDuel for your prop bets. And this one, fam, we talking about the Saints looking at offensive linemen now. How about that? A lot of skill set players, wide receiver, running back, tight end, all this kind of stuff. How about old linemen? Well, the Saints said we got you on that. We know that that's one of the main places as the Saints we have to look out for. Saints whole visit with Standout Maryland offensive lineman ahead of the draft. Saints can make a smart depth addition to their offensive line. Shout out to Sports Illustrated about the Saints. The Saints offensive tackle appears to be set for long term after selecting Tolly in the first round of 24 and Kelvin Banks in the first round of 25. However, the Saints lack depth at offensive tackle, which would cause them to take or target a tackle in the 2026 draft. How about Maryland's Alan Herron, who could be an interesting prospect for the Saints to select on day 3 of the draft? He's mentioned at his pro day on Friday that New Orleans is bringing him in for a pre-draft 30 visit. So having dinner with him is one thing. The Saints spend a draft, a 30 visit on you. They're definitely more interested in it. So the Saints should add an offensive tackle in the draft. Is it Alan Herron? Now, Herron spent the last 2 seasons at Maryland after transferring from Division II Charter University. At Charter, he started every game during 2022-23 seasons before entering the portal and receiving more than 30 offers. The Westmoreland, Jamaica native chose the Terrapins over schools like Penn State, Clemson, Miami, Auburn, and other Power 5 programs. He's 6'5", 300-plus pounds, and started all 12 games at Maryland in 25, allowing only 3 sacks and 521 pass block snaps. Herron also received just 2 penalties throughout the season and earned a Big Ten honorable mention. After the season, Herron participated in both the American Bowl and the Panini Senior Bowl before earning an invite to the 26th NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis. He ran a 4.09 in the 40-yard dash and posted 32-inch vertical in Indianapolis. He met with several teams and appears to be a popular day 3 pick who can be durable and reliable. Now, Herron is his traits-based projection, which is 2 years of FBS experience. NFL analyst Lance Zerlin on Herron. He has NFL size and length, but the fundamentals and technique are far from finished products. He lacks initial quickness, bend to fit blocks with leverage, and generate drive. In pass protection, he must become more active and aggressive with his hands while punching or latching into rushers to prevent secondary efforts. Regardless of his chances of landing in New Orleans, the Saints have several day 3 picks and will likely have many opportunities to select former Maryland offensive tackle. He's ranked as the number 427 player in this year's class on PFF's big board and is definitely expected to be an option in the later rounds. Now, since Asim Richards is New Orleans' only proven platoon tackle, the Saints should focus on adding someone like Herron. So could this young offensive lineman be the guy for the Saints? Well, let's get more intricate. Let's take a look at the NFL card from Alan Herron, which we talked about before. 6'5", 3+, 5.69 rating, which is candidate for bottom of the roster or practice squad. The Saints have 5 picks in the first 4 rounds. Could Alan Herron be one of those guys? The Saints, remember, he participated in the Senior Bowl. Saints had people there. They're bringing him in for a top 30 visit, so they're very interested in his abilities and to get him leveled up to be a potential guy. Remember, Asim Richards is there. Having a guy like Herron to develop will be really big, and that's a point of contention for the Saints. We need extra tackle help, and getting them there could really help. You can see his 5.09 in the 40-yard dash, his 3-cone drill, and his 20-yard shuttle are respectable, beyond respectable. Now, Zerline talked about it, and this is some of the stuff he talked about here as the overview for the young offensive lineman. It's just 2 years based. Now, we were at some of this. He figures this. Also, what he adds to this is he figures to show quick improvement if he can receive concentrated coaching. This is the whole thing where the Saints see, hey, man, we can get this guy. We can clean it up. We can get him to play a lot better. So he figures to show quick improvement if he can receive or benefit concentrated coaching. Herron could be drafted late, but without more grit and finishing ability, it will be hard to preserve against NFL competition. So The Saints obviously feel from coaching him up at the Senior Bowl and talking to him that this guy will fit well for our squad. Now the strengths is he's big, built big, long, and in it with NFL dimensions. Never missed a start over 4 seasons, so his durability. Protection showed obvious improvement in season. Displayed adequate change of direction when mirroring. Basic technical improvement will improve his run blocking. Wide frame can cover and slow linebackers on climbs. Now what's his weakness? Lazy punch, lacks heat, and is too easy to bypass. That's big. Has trouble shoving edge rushers off their path in the pocket. Below average slide quickness and anchor. Some of this could be fixed. Plays too high and lack of explosion in the contact. Needs to strike with inside hands and run his feet under them. Missing unnecessary aggression and grit to finish blocks. It's a technique issue. A lot of this could be cleaned up here, but the Saints obviously feel that despite some of this stuff was actually pretty serious, to be honest with you, they make mention of, but good coaching can definitely kind of fix what's going on with Mr. Alan Herron. So at the end of the day, this is one of the offensive linemen, and the Saints looking at wide receivers, running backs, tight ends, this sort of thing. But they're now looking at offensive linemen in the draft to kind of add more depth to the team. Remember, the Saints have benefited by 8 picks, 5 in the first 4 rounds. They can really not only get a couple of players in there that can actually solve some holes, maybe a cornerback, a star player there, some depth at the linebacker position, an edge rusher, no particular order, maybe another wide receiver there some kind of way, a tight end. With 8 picks, you can address a lot, man. A couple of linemen, a center, and a tackle could be good too, because the Saints, a lot of people not talking about the fact the Saints don't have a backup center at this juncture of time for often injured Eric McCoy. Could this be a point of emphasis for the Saints in the draft as well? As they're for the first 2 or 3 rounds, they will have access to some of the best centers that's available in the draft in those first 3 rounds. So can the Saints target some of these players would be a big question. But nonetheless, let's get to you guys. What do you think about the Saints targeting or looking at offensive tackles in the draft? Do you guys have somebody want to add to let the show know about who we should target from the offensive tackle position and center who you believe will be available outside the first round, maybe the second, third, or even into the 4th round? We got a couple of picks there. So fill in the comment section. Let me know how y'all feel about this prospect and maybe other prospects we need to be aware of. Also, shout out to FanDuel, the official sponsor of the show. Shout out to FanDuel. Please feel free to get your prop bets in at FanDuel. Do your betting there. Also, big ups to the family members for becoming Patreon members. If you want to join the Patreon, go to patreon.com/the Pro Media Network. It helps build the platform. As you see, we're doing a lot of improvement as we moving in 10 plus years of doing this. We remain consistent and true. Also, if you want notifications on some of your prospects that's coming up, hit the notification bell, man. Rolling out 2 shows a day, maybe 3 shows a day based on what the news covering during the week. So if you want to stay up on all your Saints stuff, man, hit that notification bell and I will deliver. So with that being said, I'm going to holler at y'all on the next report. Much love, peace, and who that tell you? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that?
Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with the WhoDatDaily.com, your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit the WhoDatDaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.